this is the Big Daddy transit. Okay, we're going to go to July 7th. And this is when Uranus enters Gemini. This is a very big deal. This is a very big deal. Uranus will be here only through November. So we have about 4 months to get to know this energy and what it feels like for us before it retrogrades back into Taurus for a brief while. When it returns to Uranus in early 2026, that's going to be April of 2026. It's going to stay. So this is our brief 4-month introduction to Uranus and Gemini. So what is Uranus and Gemini going to be about? Well, number one, on a personal level, this is going to illuminate and electrify a whole other sector of your chart. So while Uranus was in Taurus, think about what that did for you, but also think about on a collective level. Uranus brought a disruption to the elements in our life that were the most stable. Prices went up in Taurus for everything. There's been food shortages in different parts of the world. There's been supply shortages in different parts of the world. I mean, we saw this begin in 2018, and then we hit the pandemic and the housing market boom and just restaurants, what happened to restaurants, the things that were most stable and most dependent upon were thrown into a mixer, basically. So what's going to happen with Uranus and Gemini? Well, for one, this is chaotic meets chaotic. Like, I'm sorry, no offense, Gemini energy out there, but Gemini is the first sign of duality, multiplicity, and it is an air sign. So it's a lot of stimulus in the sign of Gemini, a lot of cerebral stimulus. It's also a sign of communication and writing. So when we think about what that means for us in a modern sense, this is technology. This is education. This is social media, the internet, schools, tablets, technology. And Uranus is the upheaval. It flips everything on its side. This is where we get a burst of electric current, okay? So what we're going to see here is Uranus is going to be hanging out in this trine with Pluto for some time. So for the next couple of years, we're going to be working with this trine. And really, I mean, if you want to talk archetypally, that's kind of defining this whole period, really, is Uranus is trine to Pluto. So what this is going to do is this is going to accelerate AI. And what we have on the table here in the US is a bill that is going to leave AI unregulated for the next 10 years, which many people are freaking out about as major corporations try to develop like a super brain, an AI that can supersede the human mind. Or what you see with people kind of falling into these traps where it's like a mini one-on-one cult where people are starting to develop relationships with ChatGPT and start to really worship the gospel of ChatGPT. And it sounds really profound, like what's coming out of it, but people are finding themselves like borderline psychosis at times, like where there's a break between reality and artificial reality. So yeah, this is going to really accelerate that development. And what I was saying about Gemini being a sign of education and what this means for teachers, what this means for schools, what this means for how people take exams. People are going back to oral exams because students are using ChatGPT to write their essays. Or there was just a study that was just done studying the effects of AI and its effect on the brains of people who use it very frequently. And it's diminishing activity. So it's actually atrophying our intellect. So in some ways you see like this swift acceleration, this unchecked acceleration, and at the same time we see the challenges that it poses. So that's really going to be a major benchmark of what Uranus and Gemini is going to do. It's going to disrupt education. It's going to change education. It's going to change our relationship with the internet. Like, there are videos where it's AI, but not everyone realizes it's AI because we're not used to seeing it. We're not used to filtering out what's real and what's not. And there are some things that can give it away, but not everyone is there yet. I think YouTube is about to roll out this like button where you can say, oh, this is like AI mumbo jumbo. This is bullshit. And so there's going to be warnings that like, this is AI. So it's going to really shift the way that we take in information and the need to be even more mindful of that. So that I think is going to be like the biggest thing that it brings. We're going to see changes in education. We're going to see changes in technology. We're going to see acceleration of technology. And I know I've expressed a lot of fear and like the things that we're afraid of with it, which is well-founded, but this could be amazing for, let's say, diagnostics in the medical field, for example, or just the way that we could do research if we do it conscientiously. So we're going to see a ton of changes there in technology and information. This aspect is going to be the steward of that. The last thing I wanted to speak to about Uranus's ingress into Gemini is its correspondence with the United States and major wars. So this is a Uranus return for the United States. So we're looking at the Revolutionary War. Then the next time it came around, 84 years later, we have the American Civil War, followed by 84 years later, World War II. So obviously there was like other battles and wars that aren't being counted here, but we notice the correspondence. This would be in the 7th house of the United States Sibley chart, which is a chart that astrologers use as the chart of the United States. So it's in the 7th house of opponents and conflict. So many people have been anticipating what this next Uranus return could mean, and are we going to war? And here we have the United States has just bombed Iran without the consent of Congress. So this is also Trump's Uranus return. He is also a Gemini. So we could judge that he is going to play a very big role in this country's Uranus return. And that's about all I want to get into that right now. I don't want to like create unnecessary fear, but I will just say, let's keep an eye on this because he's likely going to be the emblem through which this transit really plays out. So it'll be curious to see what exactly happens. Hopefully this is a situation that could be diffused and it doesn't progress into something unnecessary, but we will see. So for right now, I think that's all I want to say on that, but we're just going to keep an eye, okay? So thank you so much for tuning in with me today. This is our 2-week forecast for the Cancer new moon. We will reconnect next time for the Capricorn full moon. And until then, I hope these transits serve you in the highest. And if you would like more clarity on how these transits are serving you on a personal level, feel free to reach out. Let's schedule a consultation and connect. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also find me at catherineurban.com where you can schedule your year ahead consultation. I'm offering a new course. Time Lords and Transits begins on August 14th. Right now, you can still get that early bird rate through the end of June. This is an 11-week mentorship where I'm going to teach you everything I know about how to layer annual profections and transits together in order to elevate your understanding of what time it is in your life and in the lives of your clients. So for more information, you can find that at catherineurban.com, where you can also sign up. And I look forward to connecting with you in class or here or in session soon. Bye.